Hello.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Becca, you're gonna be disappointed in me.
Really? Already, now that you've said that, I am.
I have no bits.
Ah! No bits? We didn't have a bit last time because you forgot your bit.
I know, no bits. Well, we messed up on the previous recording, so we're gonna have to redo some, and that's taking up all my bit energy.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. And as Mr. Editor, apparently,
Yep.
um,
Hannah's living up to her title as of late.
uh, so that's gonna be so much fun. And I feel like I decided the other day that because I have sorry, tired. I have a 9 to 5 and um and then but it's not like 9 to 5 where I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then I have the weekends off. Typically don't have weekends off. I typically my days off are just random. Um and I'm always like, oh, I'll just do all this stuff I need to do on my day off because I have all day and do it. But then when it hits my day off, I'm like, I really don't want to do anything today. Because it's my day off. So I decided the other day that on my days off, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Doesn't matter. Like, if I want to do some extra stuff, I can, but if not, whatever. I could lay around and watch Survivor all day and it would be okay. But on my days that I work, like my 9 to 5 job, after I come back from that job, I have to do the other jobby things I need to do on those days so that I can do nothing on my days off. And I feel like that will create more of a healthy balance for me, and then I'll actually get things done. Um, and I'm trying not to be uh so much of a procrastinator, and I feel like I'm just been so lazy lately. So there's your bit.
There's the bit. Yeah. There's
Yeah,
the bit.
there's the bit. Um, because it's been honestly 2025 has not been my favorite year.
This has not
Um,
been my year either.
so one, I would say like one cool thing has happened this year, which is what we're talking about today. Um,
Japan!
yeah, and we'll have 2 episodes on Japan. This one we will be talking about Disneyland and
Whoop,
Universal in Japan.
whoop.
And then next or I don't know if it'll be directly after this, but a following episode, we're just gonna be covering Japan and everything we did and what we think of Japan and will we go back and all that stuff. Um, so Disneyland, Japan. One of my life goals is to go to every Disneyland in the world before I die. And I'm pretty close at this point because we have two in China, we have Japan, we have uh Florida, California, and we have France. And I have been to Florida, California, France, and now Japan.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
I just got to go to China. And if I go to China, I'll be hitting both of those in one trip, let me tell you. China's never been on my list of like I'd love to go to China, but I have so many other places I'd want to go to before China. Anyway, um, but Japan, Disney Japan,
Japan!
Japan.
So we have Tokyo Disney Sea and Tokyo Disneyland. They have two parks. I believe both of them are not made by Disney. They're licensed by Disney,
Correct.
which I have thoughts about this, but
Oh.
do you do you have a more intro bit or do you want me to just talk about that?
Little intro bit. Before we went to Japan, I was, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I was most excited about Disneyland. Out of everything we were doing in Japan, I was most excited about Disneyland. So the expectations were high. I have heard before from many a people in person and online that the Japanese Disneyland, specifically DisneySea, is the best Disneyland park in the world. Okay? So expectations.
I had only heard this. It's like, oh, what's your you've been to all or most? What's your favorite? Every single person, Tokyo Disney Sea, and they're like, I could go back there forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. And to that we both say, but for what
That's
reason?
crazy.
That's
That's crazy.
crazy.
Oh my gosh. We planned, okay, so the way our schedule worked, we had 3 days that we could go. And we're like, okay, we'll get one for Disneyland and two for Disney Sea because we've never been to Disney Sea. Most of Disneyland is similar to other stuff. We've never been to Disney Sea. They have all these new rides. It's all new stuff, and everyone says it's the best. So we're gonna go twice as much as the other one. And we did it Disney Sea, Disneyland, Disney Sea were the days. We get there, Disney Sea. We get there. What time did we get there? How many hours before they
The
open?
first day we got there, I want to say we got there at 8. The park opens at 9, but people are always like, "Oh, it gets they well, most of the times they open early, like as early as 8:30, and not just open the gates let you in, but like open the gates let you in, get on rides." So
Yeah,
we were like, "Oh, we didn't get there earlier than 8 the first day. Maybe it was like maybe it could have been 7:30. Maybe. I don't remember. So
I mean,
7:30 to 8, somewhere in that window, we got there on the first day.
we had to get there. We got there before 8 because we planned the night before. We're like, oh, what time this and this, and then we woke up earlier.
The first day?
Like we left earlier than we planned. Like we it took less time to get ready than we had planned for.
Oh, okay, sure. Continue.
We get there, right? We took the we were staying at a hotel that had the shuttle that had a like so we rode the
The
what did we ride
monorail.
the monorail, yeah. It you go past all of the people waiting in line and it's packed. It is so completely full of people waiting. We wish we had gotten pictures. I don't think we ended up getting any pictures of the people waiting because when we left there were no lines. So on the ride back. But there was massive lines. I was expecting this. Hannah was expecting this. We've heard of people getting there like in the wee
Yeah,
hours
yeah,
of the morning.
yeah.
Yeah, this was not unusual. We get there, we wait in line. Did it rain the first day?
Yeah.
I don't think it rained the first day.
No, it did.
Uh it did.
Yeah.
Okay, it rained. No, yes, cuz
'Cause
it rained all day this day.
yeah, you had to carry me around.
Yeah, okay. Hannah has these shoes. It's the only shoes that she brought on this trip, and they're like padded, so they're like good for walking. The problem is they are so slippery, especially when it's wet, and the entire park, almost the entire park is covered in like these stones, and they are very slippery. And I had to like we were linked arms the whole time and like hobbling to ride from ride to ride
Yeah,
was
it was
not
bad.
fun. We also didn't have an umbrella at this time, did we?
We did.
We did.
Wait, no, we did not. We did not because we found it at the end of the first day.
Yes, yes. If anyone's missing a blue umbrella, we have it. So,
Or the clear one. We found the
or
clear
the
one
clear
first.
one. You're right, you're right. Yeah, because, okay, we found this umbrella, this clear umbrella, just, what, like, it was
We
at
okay.
Disney.
Okay, I know. Okay. So we knew it was going to be raining. We had heard that it was going to be in the rainy season. So, but I don't own any rain clothes or an umbrella. So, and I was like, oh, we can just get an umbrella there instead of having to travel with an umbrella. But where we were staying, the first places for Disney, we were not near any like
Which,
stores or anything like
that
that.
sucked. That's
Yeah,
why I'm like, the only thing that the only reason I wish that we had done all of the parks and stuff at the end of the trip was because we weren't near anything. We couldn't eat at any place that wasn't a hotel. We didn't have any snacks for the we didn't couldn't bring any snacks because there wasn't any place to buy them. So we had to
mhm.
buy them all in the park. Which, by the way, the snacks were not it. At Disney Sea, they were not it.
we'll get into the
Was
food. We'll
except
get into
for
the food.
okay, fair, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
come back to that because I got
But so
thoughts.
we were like, oh, last minute before we go to the airport, I was like, Mom, do you have a rainproof jacket that I can borrow? And she's like, oh, yeah, here, grabs me this jacket, put it in my bag, don't even really look at it. Becca has a rainproof jacket that she had brought, but like we didn't own. My shoes had like a fake leather top. So they were waterproof. Becca's were not waterproof. Um, but so like we knew it was gonna be raining. We're like, we're just gonna have to get an umbrella there. But we didn't know that we wouldn't be near anything at the where we were staying the first place. So we're like, well, we're just gonna get rained on in Disneyland. It's fine.
Yeah,
Um, but
which
so we did get rained on. It wasn't too rainy the first day. Um, but towards the end of the day we were like walking around and we were like, oh my gosh, somebody left their umbrella on this bench. So we're like, should we take it? We need an umbrella. And then
we
we were
we
like,
did wait a while before we
yeah,
took it. We were like,
because we didn't want to take it if somebody was going to come back and get it. We went into like a store and hung out in an area. I want to say close to an hour, maybe. Came back and it was
yeah,
still there. So we did go take it. And we carted that umbrella around for a while until we found a collapsible one, and then we traded up and got the collapsible umbrella. So yeah, we did. There was a hole in the top, I realized later, so that could have been why somebody just left it there, or they simply just forgot and we snatched that. So sorry.
yoink.
Yeah. Um, but continue on. There was lines. We had gotten
So
there.
many lines. We walked in the lines. That was fine. A little bit rainy. We go through security, which I felt like it was. I haven't been to Disney in a while, but I felt like it was different. I had a bag. Hannah didn't have a bag. They put us through these little metal. It wasn't like at the security they have a metal thing that goes over the top. This was like metal things on that you step on. You step on, they go, wait, come through, wait, come through. They didn't look through my bag. I had a water bottle, but I think it was empty. They didn't look at that at all. We just walked through.
Hold on. There were sections that were like full on metal detectors and you would put that people would check in bags. They
Yeah,
just didn't ask us to do that. They just told us to walk on through. So
yeah.
we were
They
like,
which was especially weird because when we walked on through, they were like it looked like most people were going through the metal detectors through the line that went right through, and they were like, "No, you're good. Go this way, like around the pillar, around the board." And I was like, "This is
"Huh,
so weird."
yeah.
Like
I
we
was like,
we
the
we
only
were like,
thing that I could have think of was your bag was pretty small. Um, but still there could be stuff in their bag. So
yeah,
maybe it's because of the size of the
it's
bag,
too
but
big to bring into like a regular concert venue or to bring into regular Disneyland. They know they search the bags that big. But
yeah,
like,
they
I just
search
thought it was weird that
everything at regular
they were
Disneyland.
like,
So
go through that corridor, like, go around,
yeah,
like, you're
yeah,
good. And I was like,
yeah.
me? I'm good? They're like,
Okay.
yes, next.
But so
We walk
and
through.
it did take us a full hour to get through the line into the park, so
Yeah.
be wary of that. Um,
The lines were kind of, they all look even. Like when you're looking down the lines or when you're looking from the top, they look really even, which usually they kind of bunch up in the middle or where you kind of come in at the ends. They were very even, but I don't think they went the same pace, which I
no,
thought was
I
weird.
think
Because, like,
all the lines on the very end went faster because what they do is they only have so many scanners, so all the lines have to meet up and go to the scanners. But what they had done was every line that would meet up at a scanner would branch off into two different lines. But then the lines at the very end were all feeding into a single scanner. Um,
yeah,
so you did kind of bottleneck at the end. And that was for pretty
which,
much every line ever in Japan. So,
yeah. I don't know why they'd
um,
make the line smaller, I guess, but
yeah.
we get through. We I don't remember where we decided we were gonna rope drop, but we walk through. It's a little bit rainy. They have all these shops right here. It's a very cool spectacle to walk in the very first time because they have this huge lake right in the middle. You can see the mountain that they have the journey to the center of the earth under like volcano. They have all these side. It looks like an Italian area, like the houses and stuff, which is a hotel above. And then like you can see all these rivers, all these boats, all these rides. That's cool. The problem is you have to walk around that lake to get everywhere. The place is so big. It
Yeah.
we took us it wasn't on the first day, but the second day I know that we rope dropped a place that was towards it wasn't the very furthest back. But it was pretty close to the away from the
Where were
start.
we rope dropping?
Uh
Frozen? No.
it couldn't have been Frozen. That was the wrong way to go. I know that we did go not the fastest way, but we still went because we just went around. I don't.
Mm,
It was
I don't
by
remember.
Nemo, but it wasn't whatever.
Yeah.
It took us 45 minutes to walk there.
Yeah.
45 minutes. And it
Yeah.
wasn't raining that day. I wasn't hugging Hannah like I don't know what we did the very first day, but we kind of we went on that bridge and then we went to Tower of Terror the first day.
Yes, yeah.
They have a very cool you walk around this Italian area, you go over the bridge, it turns into kind of New York. So like Disneyland, it's like all Hollywood. DisneySea, it's all New York. They have like the sub underneath the subway lines and a big boat where Turtle Talk is, and I thought it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool
Hmm.
area. They have shops there. The shops? Oh my gosh. We went to so many shops. They all sell the exact same thing. Unless you like Duffy, they have whole shops that's just Duffy. And
If
then
you
all the
don't
other
like,
shops are the same
okay,
stuff.
we'll get into I think we should talk about the shops and the food before we hit the specific rides.
Yeah.
If you don't like Duffy and Friends and Baymax, there's virtually no merch for you. That's, those are it. That's it.
And
I'm a
there's
big
very few
pin
Baybacks
person.
at
What'd
Disney
you say?
Sea. The Baymax is used at Disneyland. Disney Sea, no Baymax, just
No,
Duffy.
no. Remember there's the shop we walked past like right at the end of the our last day there. The shop in front of Journey to the Center of the Earth was all Baymax.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And I'm a pin person, as you can kind of see over here. I that's like the only merch I ever get at Disney parks is just pins. And pin selection was the worst I have ever seen. It was so bad.
There
And
was what, 10 or 15?
I'd say there's probably 15 different pins total, and 10 of them were just the different characters in statue form, which is cool if you want to get that whole set, but like they weren't cool enough to me to get it. Um, there was, I got two pins at Disney. One was a Splash Mountain pin, which I was praying that they had because OG Splash Mountain is gone. And then I did get, they had something there at that time. I'm assuming it was just like a when we were there situation where they had a lot of things that was like, oh, summer vibes. And so they had a pin that
Oh,
had like Mickey and Minnie and like an old
the
retro car.
food and wine festival.
Yeah, it could have been just for the Food and Wine Festival. But pin selection, I before I went to Tokyo, France had the worst pin selection I've ever seen because of the fact that they had a lot of like random pins, and it was like I went there in April, March, and they had like leftover Valentine's Day pins, and it was like random characters, random things. However, a lot of their pins were like massive and they were still cheap. So but Tokyo was worse than France with pin selection. Um, it just yeah, it was they're big on buttons there, apparently. There was buttons everywhere we went. So if you like buttons, you can get cool buttons in Tokyo, not just at Disneyland, but just literally anywhere you go.
Everywhere.
But I was thoroughly disappointed with the pin selection and
It was so
yeah,
funny too, because you'd go into a new shop and they're advertised as we're this kind of shop or this whatever. You get there and you're like, oh, new things. Wrong. It's just the same stuff, but different things are in the front. We're like, oh my gosh, there's pins in the corner. We rush to the
yeah,
corner. It's the same three pins.
yep. I would say that half the shops in all of the parks were you could actually say this about all of Japan. Half the shops we went into just had these containers of like snacks and stuff that you would take home, but depending on where you were, the containers would be themed or the packages or whatever. And that's just not something that I would ever go for or anything, but that was, oh, we're just in another, the candy shop or the bakery is those kind of snacks. The souvenir shop is those tins with snacks in it. Um, but yeah, And then also like in regular Disneyland, you have like little kiosks with like or like every time you exit a ride, there's a themed shop based on what ride you were
That's
just in.
so
None of that.
the very first thing that we did in any of the parks, we were in Tokyo DisneySea, we rode Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror does have a shop that you feed out of. And so that's what it does in every place. There's that.
Mhm. That's
We
the
get
only
there.
one though. That's the only one,
That's the
right?
only
Yeah.
one out of all of the places. I was really surprised when we left. I think it was like Splash or something where like the big rides should have those places and we're like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand.
Is it just that like I don't know, 'cause maybe I was like, oh, maybe people just like in Japan aren't souvenir people, but I feel like they very much are with everywhere else we went in Japan, not just in Disneyland. So then I was like, because oh maybe it's Japanese company owned that they don't have many shops, but like they do, it just is not set up the same way to maximize uh sales in the sense that Disneyland is, you know?
Outside of the parks, we went to at least one Disney store, and their selection was fine. They had regular Disney things. They had pins. They
Hmm.
had things that were coming out. They had like Lilo and Stitch stuff and Winnie the Pooh stuff and stuff that was similar to the stuff they were selling in the stores, but they just weren't selling them in the stores.
Yeah. We went to one store that was like every level was themed differently, and then one of the levels had a little Disney section. I bought more Disney merch there than I did in the Disney parks. And then we found an actual Disney store at a place that Becca's talking about had different Disney things. And Becca said to me in that store, we like picked up a Baymax wearing like a little raincoat, and she's like, and there was a couple other things that were like cutesy themed and whatever, and she goes, this is the kind of merch that I expected in Japan Disneyland, and there was none
Yeah.
of that in the actual parks.
There was also one of the things we had a family member tell us that they wanted something that said Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea.
Hmm.
There was like one or two things at all that said that,
Yeah.
and it was like on the back, like a logo. And we're like,
Hmm. Yeah.
I
So
don't
that was disappointing.
understand.
I'd say in general, we were looking for things that were like screamed Japan, and they just love English so much that nothing had
Yeah,
that.
we
So that was sad.
all over Japan. We were like, we're looking for a t-shirt or a book or something that was in Japanese because like Americans think that look cool. The problem is the Japanese thinks English looks cool, so we're like, ah, I
Yeah,
don't know what to do.
it was rough. Um, but also the food.
Okay, okay. We don't usually, or at least I don't usually buy food at parks. At
Hmm.
parks of theme parks of any kind. We usually bring our own food. We're just cheapos. We went into it, we're like, we were planning on buying snacks, but there were no stores outside of the park. So we're like, we'll just buy stuff inside of the park. I don't remember, I don't think we had breakfast that first day, but we had lunch that first day. We went to this like, it looked like a restaurant. They have all of it was even the food and wine festival, and I'm so upset about this. Around all the parks and stuff, around all the restaurants, they have like signs. They're like, we have exactly one food item, exactly one side, exactly one drink. That's fine, whatever. That's sufficient. That's whatever. But like you get in, we wait in this big long line. The line turns into six lines. The six lines turns into three lines. I order my one thing, which was I think the most expensive food item I bought in all of Japan. It was like a $15. It was like a rice bowl. It was
Hmm.
not good at all. It was not good at all. I was so disappointed. I was like, ugh, like
I
just
was
I'm
okay.
buying food in Disney.
I
A
was
rice bowl.
disappointed in the fact that, like we were saying, there are like little areas where there's like little kiosk shops, whatever. I was expecting, well, in Disneyland there are a lot of those, or like little stands that have multiple little things you can get at this little
Yeah,
thing, and then whatever. So I was like, oh, we can just go try all the little stuff, and they don't really have that there. The only thing that you saw like all over the park was popcorn. But which is fun and good, but like we didn't have any food, so we're like we can't just eat popcorn all day. Um,
we did buy a lot of popcorn
we
though. They
did buy a
have
lot of
interesting
popcorn.
flavors.
Yeah, they have fun flavors. We got curry
We got beef,
popcorn.
roast beef
Hmm.
curry and corn potage. We
And then they had some,
almost got honey. That would have been
we,
delicious.
I wanted to get the honey ones so bad. And then they also had fun ones like soy sauce and butter, um, black pepper, chocolate, um,
Chocolate milk.
yeah, chocolate milk. They had a lot. That was, you could get some fun popcorn flavors there. Um, so if you like popcorn, good on ya. But
I
other
will
than that,
say those popcorn shops were everything they should be. Like the actual shop were always themed. The flavors were usually themed around what area they were in. Like that's what all the snacks should be. So they
mm,
should all be. But there was one time. This was on our second day at Tokyo Disney Sea. We're walking around to a ride. I see the sign that has a picture of the food, and I'm like, that looks tasty. I keep that in my mind. We walk around for a little bit. We do a ride. We come back, and I'm like, oh, I want to go find that yummy. It was ice cream because I love ice cream. It was sweet potato ice cream. I was like, I want to find that because turns out they only sell it at that one place in the whole park, and we couldn't
yeah,
remember where it was. And we tried to
yeah,
look it up on the app. We looked up on the app that first day. None of the food is correct on the app. It every place only sells like one or two things, and it's not. It's all wrong on the app. Like you get there and we're like, we sell French fries or whatever, and you get there and they're like, no, we spell slushies. Like always different. We're like, that's so
yeah,
weird.
yeah. Yeah, so the
We
app, yeah, by the second day we were like, there's no point in me looking up the food on the app because it's just gonna be wrong.
yeah.
And yeah, there was one thing that we went back and got multiple times at Disneyland, and it was the sea salt ice cream in the shell, but they only sold it at that one kiosk at that one spot. So every time we wanted it, we had to go back to that location. And like we said at the beginning, it takes a long time to get from one end of the park to the other. So depending on where you were, it's like we kind of have to time this out and try to get stuff. And because on the first day, we had walked past the ice cream, the seashell ice cream. And I was like, oh, we should get that. But, and then we would like go get in a line. And then I was like, oh, do you want to wait in line while I go get the ice cream and come back? But we didn't know that it was only at that one spot, but we had walked past things that said, oh, ice cream or frozen desserts, whatever.
There were so many places that said ice cream and so many places that said whatever. And it was literally only that one shop that sold this kind of ice cream. We're like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
It was brutal. So I had left Becca in line, and mind you, Becca did not have service and just I did. So if one of us left, we wouldn't be able to find each other. So we would do things where we were like, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, like meet me at this spot or whatever. So I was like, okay, you stay in line and I'm gonna go run. So I had run out of this place. It wasn't the frozen thing we passed. So then I looked on the app to see an ice cream thing, ran to a different like park place or whatever, and it was still not at that one. And I was like, I can't find this place. I'm like running around. I don't know how long Becca's been in the line. Like she could be inside the building, and then I have to go find her. So I like ran back to Becca, and I was like, but I didn't get it. Like I couldn't find it, and I was like red and sweaty, and I was like, no ice cream, sorry. But
It
so yeah,
that
so that
that
was a
that
little
very first
frustrating.
day, that very first day at Tokyo Disney Sea, it rained all day. The other 2 days, 100 degrees
Mm,
and 100% humidity. And
mm,
I'm only exaggerating the slightest bit. Like it was like 97, 100, and 100 humidity.
yeah,
That's too hot. That's so hot.
it's so hot.
And
Yeah,
there like Splash Mountain is a water ride. You should get wet. You should get wet. We did not get at all wet. We did not get wet even a little bit.
one drop, not one drop on Splash. I was so sad. Do you want to split this up between C and Disney or just talk about the rides?
We'll just talk about the rides.
Okay. I so I'll start off with Fantasy Springs. Um I had heard about Fantasy Springs. I do my homework when it comes to Disneyland, okay? I want to know what the best rides are. I want to know what I want to hit. And time after time, I saw that Fantasy Springs was the place to be. Originally, Fantasy Springs was something that you had to get like a timed entry, or originally, when we were planning this trip, I wanted to stay in the Fantasy Springs Hotel just so that I could enter Fantasy Springs and hope to get on one of those rides because they were the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Everybody was in Fantasy Springs, and I wanted to be in Fantasy Springs. Luckily for us, um, by the time we actually went, Fantasy Springs was not timed entry anymore, open to the public, so we could just walk in at any time and ride these rides. On that very first day, our plan was to rope drop Fantasy Springs, and get those rides because they always have the longest wait time. They're supposed to be the coolest in the park, we had by the time like on the app you can check the wait times. By the time we had gotten to the park at 9:30, Frozen. So there's four rides in Fantasy Springs. We have Frozen, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and Rapunzel. Frozen online that I had seen always had the longest wait time. So I was like, let's rope drop Frozen because then we can get out of the way and do all this other stuff. And Peter Pan and Tinkerbell always had the shortest wait time. Rapunzel kind of fluctuated on the higher end though. So I was like, we're gonna rope drop Frozen. By the time we had actually entered the park and I pulled up the map to look at um Frozen, it was already at like 120 minutes after being 30 minutes into the park. And I was like, forget that. We're not dropping Fantasy Springs. And not only for the fact that it is the furthest away in the park from the entrance. So we switched gears and went to Tower of Terror. But Fantasy Springs, let me just sit here and try to de-influence you because Fantasy Springs was not it, okay? Disneyland Tokyo overall was not it. There were some good things about it, but I was thoroughly disappointed in Fantasy Springs. However, from first glance, however, as the day went on and our second day in Fantasy Springs, I did like it a little bit more because we actually explored some of the areas that we didn't on the first day. Um, First and foremost, my favorite bit of the entire Fantasy Springs area is the complete back end of that area where they have it's the backside of Arendelle and it's they have rocks and like water statues and those are so cool. I could stand and look at those all day. They have one that looks like Ariel and the water will splash up on Ariel. And then on the big back of Arendelle, they have like an entire story with multiple princesses and characters.
That stuff
Definitely
was
check those
cool.
out. Those are reminiscent of the very beginning front face of Fantasy Springs, where you have Peter Pan and Rapunzel like carved into the rocks. It looks like that, but just cooler in the back side of
Very
Fantasy Springs.
cool. They have like these metal flowers all over. Very
Yeah,
cool.
and we really only walked over there originally to wait in the line to get into Rapunzel, or not Rapunzel, Tangled. Um, or not Tangled, sorry, Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen. And um, so I'm going to de-influence you on one thing in particular. The Rapunzel ride pissed me off. Pissed
We
me off.
waited. All of the rides in DisneySea are always they never ever go down. They were always like 2 hours for everything.
Mhm. Oh, wait,
So
pause.
we
The wait times on the app were always inaccurate. Most of the time, they were shorter than what they said on the app. There were a couple times it was longer than what they said on the app. Most of the times it was shorter. So just heads up for that.
we did, however, wait almost the full 2 hours for Tangled. It
No,
wasn't two
no,
hours, but it was a little less.
no, that was the one that was the biggest discrepancy. It said 2 hours on the app, and we only waited like an hour.
Oh, really?
We waited almost 2 hours for Frozen.
Uh, anyway, we waited a decent amount of time for Tangled. The line, I always rate the lines because I love the design. The
If you're
line
gonna
was
wait,
okay.
if you're gonna wait for a ride for 2+ hours, the line better be freaking good.
Yeah. The line was okay. Like it wasn't a bad line. You're going through all these themed parts of like they're making the boats and all this stuff and very cool. You get through, you think you're really close and then they have you go up and around and that's whatever. It's like a log. It's a boat ride. It's a boat ride. We've seen videos of this ride. Here is the thing though. We saw videos of this ride before, and you'd see the ride and you're like, oh, you open on the boat and there's Rapunzel, and then oh, a new room, and then there's this, and oh, new room, and there's this. And we're thinking, oh, this is a good little snippet, a little highlight reel of the ride. Like this ride must be so cool if this is what they're showing. That is the entire ride. The ride is not even 2 minutes long. You wait you wait 2 hours for it and it's not even 2 minutes long. Most of the ride takes place maybe a little bit less than half of the ride takes place outside. You go outside and go in. The parts that you can see from outside, you can see. You don't have to be in the line. You can walk around and see that part of the ride. You can see them going in. You can see the tower. You can see Rapunzel singing. You can hear her for most of Fantasy Springs. So the part that is the ride that you get by waiting in line to be in the ride is like 30 seconds long. It's like
Mm, yep. It was so annoying. Because I love Tangled. Tangled is one of my top Disney movies. I love it so much. And I had seen all of the clips online. So if you've seen the clips online, you have seen the whole ride. And we went and counted the seconds because I was taking videos on my camera. And so the first bit is the outside bit that we were talking about. You see Rapunzel in the tower, you see Flynn next to the rock, and then you go into the building and it's like a little transition room, very, very small, but you just see the castle painted on the wall. And then you go into the room that is the big lantern scene. The inside bit was I took a 20-second video, which was most of the entire inside, and then the ride is over. And I turned back up when we got out of the lantern room because you can tell you're like docking, the boat is docking to get out, and you're like, I turned back and I was like, are you kidding me? This better not be the end of the ride. But it was. That ride I love Tangled, but I would not wait at all for that ride. I would not go on that ride again unless it was a walk on. Like because it's just not worth it to wait for for 2 minutes of my time when I can watch the entire ride online. Like every clip of that ride is online and you can see it and people have taken great amazing videos of it, so there's no point for waiting 2 hours for that oh, it pissed me off so much. It pissed me off so much.
that was by far the biggest letdown of probably the whole trip.
The whole trip, I was so mad. I was so mad. We did not ride it again, the entire trip. The Frozen ride is also a log ride, so I was worried that everything I had seen about the clips online were gonna be the same situation, and I have seen the whole ride. But it was not. Frozen is definitely the best ride in DisneySea, I would say. Um, I would say it's top two for all of Disneyland, sea and regular. It is a log like boat ride. It's a boat ride, but there is a track that the boat is on because there are bits where you go up and down and it moves around and
I
it's
thought
very
this was a
cool.
really cool ride because but like the visuals are really cool. It is the story of Frozen, so it's not like anything new. But there are bits where like you're riding a regular boat ride. You're going on Pirates, you're going on Tangled, you're going on a track, right? You're kind of floating around, going around, and you just like go as a boat. Ta or not Tangled, Frozen, they have you on a track. They have you on a track, like a right. They have you go backwards at parts and turn around and like go up and rush down. And I thought that was really cool.
Hmm.
It was pretty cool for me.
Yeah, and Frozen does have one of the best um I'll just generalize with all the things I'm saying, like animatronics, because Tokyo Disneyland does have incredible animatronics for like all of their rides. They're like miles ahead of regular Disneyland in that sense. And so there is some animatronic magic that goes on in this ride that it does make you go, oh, like, oh, that was so cool. We did wait for this ride twice because it was that good. Um, so
This ride,
I would recommend that ride.
as what there were a lot of rides. We went to Universal, we went to Disney. All of there were a lot of backwards rides where you would go backwards kind of like a haunted mansion where you kind of go backwards down that hill, which I think is weird. From a design point of view, you can't really tell where people are looking, but most of
Mm,
Frozen was backwards. Like you rode
mhm.
front for a little bit, and then at the very beginning, when they sing what do you want to build a snowman, and then it goes backwards for most of the ride, which
Yeah, there are parts where you like come into a room, click in, the room moves, and then you go back out backwards outside the room. But it was good. It was long, which was good. You get your money's worth from that line. The line was good. You're like going through the castle in Arendelle. Perfect. We love that.
the line
Um,
was really good.
yeah, so I would recommend that ride. I said to Becca, we have some time to kill. Let's go wait for Frozen again. Let's just while we're here.
It was
I think
broken almost the entire day the first day,
yes.
but we did get to do it twice the second day.
Yeah, so I was worried about that the first day that we wouldn't get to ride it, period. But we rode it twice, so hey. Other for other the other two Fantasy Springs rides, Tinkerbell is more of like kid-focused ride. It's just a little buggy and you go through Tinkerbell stuff. However, I did really love the line for this ride because it puts you in this perspective of a fairy, so everything is huge and massive, very Disney-esque. Loved that. So that one was fine. We all just rode it that one time. But the Peter Pan ride in Disneyland was very good. I liked that one. Did we ride it two or three times?
I think we rode it 3 times.
Three times, yeah. That
This was
line is
this was
generally
very
shorter.
good.
Yeah, that line is generally shorter too, so that's why we rode it so many times. And it's good. It's like a 3D, but also on a track type situation. Yeah, it was good.
It does have a
That
lot of screens.
yes.
Like I when we went to Universal in Florida, one of my biggest things I didn't like was that they used screens for everything and everything.
Hmm.
And there is a lot more of that in Disney, but they pair it with movement and they pair it with like real stuff that I think it works
Yes.
really well, especially for Peter Pan.
And they do an incredible job of transitioning from screen into real set pieces,
Yeah.
if is that the word. Um, this ride has the biggest heart I have ever seen.
It's
It's
so big.
it's taller than me. It's so big. It's like you're getting in like a little boat, but they don't want you to see the transition stuff when you're not supposed to be seeing
So
it. So the
everything
sides
kind of
are,
takes over. You can't see the
yeah,
very top and you can't see the sides and
yeah, it's
we rode
massive.
it multiple times, and one of the last few times we rode it, it skipped like a good couple minutes of the ride,
Yeah.
and we're like, "What just happened? What just happened?" Like,
It was near the end of the day, so I wonder if they're just like if they depending on the line or if they speed things up or if they have multiple tracks and maybe one is slightly shorter so that the timing of all the tracks ends up the same. I'm not sure on that, but it was like one of the last rides and we were and because we had ridden it at least two times before that, Becca and I turned to each other and we were like, "Wait, did they just skip?" Like, wait a
yeah,
second. So that was interesting. It didn't really take away from the ride, but we only noticed it because I think we had just ridden it
yeah.
previously. So there's that. Yeah, so Fantasy Springs definitely overhyped in my opinion. They have one shop in Fantasy Springs that is more Fantasy Springs oriented, but still has all the
It
stuff
it
in
is
all the
probably
other.
the furthest thing away from the entry. It's
Yep.
right next to where the Fantasy Springs Hotel people come in,
Hmm.
but if you take out that shop, there's like no shops.
None.
Like,
Not a single one. So that was sad because I love all of those Fantasy Springs movies. So I was like, let's get some good merch. But alas, no. There was
alas.
one pin set I was very close to getting, which was the only pin set in the entire park, apparently. But the problem was it had like all the posters for all the rides in Fantasy Springs, and I really just wanted like two of them. But the whole set was like $50. So I was like, I'm not gonna spend $50 on. Although looking back, I should have
You should have
because
just got it.
because yen is like play money. Anyway, Because I don't know, what did it say on the yen price tag? Was it 4,800 yen?
I think so.
So that what's that? Like 30 bucks?
It's like what, 35?
I should have got it. Should have got it. I'll look online.
Hannah did say multiple times during this trip, she's like, it's play money, like
It's play
holding the
money.
coins and the paper. She's like, this is fake money.
Yen means nothing. It's free. It's free. Yeah. So Fantasy Springs definitely overhyped along with the rest of the park, but Frozen and Peter Pan were very good. Um, but don't bother with Tangled. Sorry. Sorry.
We,
Actually, everybody else get in line for Tangled so that I can ride Frozen and Peter Pan with no line.
yeah, yeah.
So,
They,
one thing that I did like about Arendelle, although they could have done it. Okay, wait.
wait.
Now that we've talked about what kind of a ride Frozen was, what makes me even more mad about the Tangle ride is they had the potential for it to be like the Frozen ride, and they chose to make it the way they did, which boggles my mind because they could have had incredible rides throughout all of Fantasy Springs. But the ride that the most people were excited about and anticipated because it is, I would say, out of those four movies, the most beloved, they just dropped the ball when it could have been as good as Frozen was. So that really made me sad. Um, and I forgot what else I was gonna say on that point. So, oh, I was
I
gonna talk about
Arendelle.
Arendelle. Arendelle was cool because it really looked like you were stepping into Arendelle. Um, but they could have had that vibe throughout, not the Arendelle vibe, but like the, oh, I'm stepping into Neverland. Oh, I'm stepping into uh Corona. I'm just trying to think of the place in Tangled. They did have like similar vibes, like rocky outdoor mystical feel throughout the park, but they did Arendelle so well that they could have translated it into the other bits or just gone all out and made the whole thing like those fun rock formations. It's kind of we didn't realize it was there until we had to wait in line for Frozen. So, yeah, I don't know. There are good, there's really good and really bad to Fantasy Springs. So,
Yeah. Did we need 2 days? I mean, we did because Frozen was broken the first day, but if it wasn't broken the first day, I would not book another 2 days.
I would rather do 2 days, 2 days in Disneyland than Disney's Sea.
Disneyland was really good. The it was a different it didn't feel like Disneyland, but it definitely felt more Disney than DisneySea did.
Hmm.
I don't know, I really liked it. They have the what is it called? The where all the shops are? Center Street,
Main Street.
Main Street is covered.
Hmm.
So that's really good because it rains all the time and it's really hot and it was covered and I like that. The shops, however, were very similar. They at Disneyland, so much Baymax left and right. There was this Baymax ring. We went to this shop
Um,
that was kind of by the Baymax ride, which we didn't ride. It's like a bumper cars ride that was probably the most popular ride there. It was
hmm.
the wait time was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there were multiple shops that were just Baymax. And I'm not talking like Big Hero 6. I mean like just Baymax. And there was this ring that was like Baymax's face on a little ring. It was like $10. But like I almost bought it. I almost bought it. It was I should have bought it.
You should have bought it.
That's my biggest like should have bought regret. My God, that would have been so
Yeah.
funny. It's huge too. Like uh
You
but
guys don't understand. You don't understand. You had to see
I,
it.
I
I don't know
will
if we
say
did we even get a picture of it?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
know
think
I
so.
made some lots of jokes, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Disney, we were complaining about how DisneySea is set up because you kind of go around the lake, but that it is you even if you get lost, there's only like two places to go. It's to the right of the lake, to the left of the lake. Disneyland is very confusing because to in order to get to some really popular places, it looks like you're going around this back alley. Like we were trying to get to the best ride, which was Beauty and the Beast. You have to kind of go through. I don't even know if they call it Tomorrowland. There's like where all the space stuff is. Where you go around the back of one ride and you go through this place and you go around the back again. We're like, this looks like we're not going anywhere. Like
Hmm.
you think one of the most popular rides. would have this like a very obvious way to get there. I thought
Yeah.
it was really confusing.
Yeah. We'll just start off by talking about that. The Beauty and the Beast ride is the best ride in Disneyland Park, in the Disneyland side of the park. Like I said, I don't know, it rivals Frozen to take it for the entire park. Beauty and the Beast might have the edge though.
It
Um,
totally takes it for me.
yeah,
Completely,
yeah.
completely.
It's very good. Like, and the line is good. You walk, it's like you're like Frozen, you're walking through the castle and doing all that stuff. Even just before you get into the castle though, it's impressive because there's the outside of the castle. They have like vineyard type area off to the side. And then if you're when you're like walking into the castle, like you look down and it's like drop off cliff, like misty
Oh,
down, very cool. And
these
then
gargoyles.
the surrounding area also of the castle is like you're in France, which is love that. That is the most Disney area of that park because you're fully immersed in that area. And again, that ride has some incredible animatronics and animatronic magic. The two things online that you'll see of like how did they do this is Frozen and the Beauty and the Beast ride. There are moments in both of those rides where the internet, when those rides came out, the internet went off and was like, how are they doing this? And it truly is like animatronic magic or whatever. We rode this one multiple times because this line also was on the shorter side. Every single ride on the Disneyland side was shorter than Disney
It
Sea.
I was like mind blown. We went to DisneySea, everything's 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. We go to Disneyland, minus like Beauty and the Beast, minus Baymax, minus some of those weird rides. Everything's a walk on.
Yep,
Like we walked on
yep,
to what Haunted Mansion. It was like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. We
yep,
rode parts at least twice. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, are you kidding me?
yep, yep.
It's crazy.
It was Splash always had the longest. And then I like I think the longest I ever saw we got in line when it was 120, which I think was the longest we ever saw it. And then it would be Baymax or Beauty and the Beast, but those would only be like 45, 50, which is really good compared to Disney Sea. So, and again, like they're usually shorter than what it says on the app. So,
Beauty
mind
and
you
the
that.
Beast was really cool. They put you in this like teacup-esque ride where it's kind of and then they kind of like rotate you like this, but you're in one of those like trackless rides where they kind of go you around. And it's interesting where they you can see where everyone else is going and you all go to different things at different times, which I think is really cool. And they did entire songs. They would put you in these great big rooms. I love a big room, especially in a ride. I love me a big room. They put you in these great big rooms. They would sing whole songs that have all these lights. You'd go to everyone would go to these corner and you'd see a little thing, and then
Hmm.
everyone dancing out. Great big room. I love that. That was so cool. I
Yep.
enjoy.
Yeah. That one is it's a good ride. Definitely, if you're like, what's the one thing we gotta hit this side? It's Beauty and the Beast. Um, Other fan favorite though, Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain is gone other places in the world, so when we came here, we said we have to ride Splash Mountain, and we had an interesting experience with Splash Mountain because um we're like, we just have to bite the bullet and wait 2 hours because we have to ride Splash Mountain. So we're waiting in line. I'd say we get just a little bit more than halfway. Is that accurate? Like we were not close to the front when the ride broke down.
Yeah,
And I would say we'd a little bit more than halfway, close to maybe three-fourths of the way through. We were not close to the front though. We still had a good amount of time to get to the front, and the ride breaks down. And typically at Disneyland, when a ride breaks down, unless you were on the ride, they just say sorry and they exit you off the line because there was one trip we had, kid you not, we counted it was like our cursed trip. We went for Halloween. We were there on Friday the 13th. We got to the very front of rides and it was I think the final count was it was either 13 exactly or it might have been 13, 14, 15 area where we were the next people to get on the ride and it breaks down and we just have to walk away. Um, and so like we were cursed. But so like this one, we were not close to the front. It broke down and they're like, "Oh shoot, we're gonna have to exit the ride." And we're thinking, "Okay, I look behind us. There's maybe like 10 or 15 people behind us, and then behind them it's nobody. And I'm like, if they just want us to exit the ride, why aren't we turning around and walking out the exit
They
instead of
there wasn't nobody behind us. They had a guy cut off the line and take them that way.
That's what I'm saying. There was maybe
Yeah,
like 10, 15 people, and then there was nobody.
yeah.
So I was like, why are we not just exiting if they want us to exit? Like, why do they want us to go out this way or whatever? So we were slowly inching our way out of the ride, but then we get up to a certain point and they were giving everybody fast passes um once you had hit that cutoff point. So I was like, oh dang, like they're actually really good about the fast passes and all that stuff. So then it's not like a universal fast pass. You couldn't go on everything with it, I don't think. But you could go back on Splash Mountain. So we used it again to get on Splash Mountain. And it's the same. Splash Mountain is the same. Okay, I say the same. There are a lot of rides that are the same ride in Disneyland. Um, USA than Tokyo, but there may be like a couple things different. I think Splash had maybe like a couple things different, but it was basically the same. It's a double seater like they have at Disney World. Disneyland is just a single seater. And I don't know if it was because it's a double seater you get less wet or if it's just we didn't get wet at all on Splash Mountain.
Yeah, like
Um,
not even like mist on my glasses, like
yeah,
completely dry.
yeah,
And they
completely
still had
dry.
like the signs and stuff that said you may get wet. I was like,
And we saw people walking off the ride that were soaked.
yeah,
So I don't know what the deal was with us not getting wet at all. We were kind of in the middle of the boat, but still, like, anyway, so it could have just been our luck because also we went to Universal, we'll talk about that later, on a water ride. The first time we rode it, not a single drop. Second time we rode it, just
soaked.
blasted.
That
Just
was fun. That
blasted.
was a good ride. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So Splash Mountain was good. Things are the same, but just a little bit different. A lot of the rides are mostly like if they're talking, it'll be in Japanese, but then if there's like signage on the side, is in English. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
Um, the other ride in Disneyland side that is different than the US version is Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is incredible in Tokyo. It's a different ride entirely.
it's another trackless one.
Yeah, another
This
trackless ride, and they use a
this
lot of
one
their incredible animatronics on that one.
we rode this one at least twice, and I know
Mhm.
because it's trackless. They'll do stuff in the middle, do something they'll take you to the side, and there'll be like a screen or an animatronic, whatever. You see different things based on what where you go, and I was
Mhm.
like, man, that's so cool. Like to
Yeah.
ride it over and over. That was all. That was a pretty long wait. I thought, but it
Well,
was a
yeah,
good.
we waited fully for it one time. One time though, we did have a fast pass type situation because when we went, they're doing their like 40th anniversary premiere pass, and so you could just get fast passes for free if you could get them on the app, and that was one that we were able to get on the app. So they did have that, but yeah, I think there's just more to do on the Disneyland side. However, in general, I was surprised at how spread out everything was. We would be in areas and there was like nothing around because everything is
Yeah,
just so spread out. It was kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
It's hard to
You're like
describe.
going through. You go regular Disney. You're going through. You can always see. You can always tell you're in Disney, even if you're
Mhm.
like I know there are some parts of like New Orleans type area where you go like in the shops and stuff, and you can go on the sides, and you're like we're in the shops. There were so many places, but you can always tell you're in Disneyland. Here, you'd be walking through like this is the route to go to XYZ ride. Like this is
Yep.
from where I am. This is the quickest. This is where people go. This is where people go. You'll be walking. Zero people around you. Zero Disneyland things. There's like trees covering your way, but it's like this big open wide area. You're like, where am I? How am I in Disney? There could
Yeah.
be shops here. There could be an ice cream selling guy. There could be a character or something. I was like very confused.
Yep. Yeah. It was odd, but it was a good time. Um, if you're trying to hit all the Disneylands in all the world, definitely go. But
Tower
I've
of
been
Terror
there.
also is different.
Yeah, Tower of Terror. Oh, the other thing with a lot of these rides, we talked about it with Tango, but like Tower of Terror was our first introduction ride to the parks. So short. So
So
short.
short.
So short. it's like two drops and then you're done with Tower of Terror. It's a different storyline, so that was cool, but like I was like, again, is that it? Like,
Tower of Terror, I think the original is better just because there's more spooky things happening. Like it's
hmm
a spooky place. And with
yeah.
the story in the Japanese Tower of Terror is this eccentric guy from New York goes to wherever, steals an idol, the idol turns evil, takes an elevator and crashes him on the down and he dies and he becomes like a spirit. The idol still crashes people on the elevator. That's the story. That means only the elevator is spooky. However, there were other things in the building. Like you walk through the line and you get into the inside and there's like a dress and there's like a spooky plant or like stuff whatever. I'm like, I don't understand how this is spooky when
hmm
it's not relevant. There's no other
Yeah.
spooky things about the place.
Yeah.
It's seriously as though you go up slowly, you drop one, you go up slowly, you go to the top, you drop not all the way to the bottom, like three-fourths of the way down. You go up and then you drop to the bottom and that's it. So
Yeah.
2.5 drops.
Yep. Disappointing to be sure. Um, but yeah. So overall, Tokyo Disneyland and DisneySea, 100% overhyped.
1,000,000%.
100% overhyped. If I found myself in Tokyo again, I don't know if I would go out of my way to go to Disneyland again, but if like I'm with a group and if they're all like, let's go to Disneyland, I would go again. I would just spend more time in Disneyland than Disney
Yeah,
Sea.
for sure.
So, yeah. Um,
The Journey to the Center of the Earth ride, however short,
oh
it was
yeah.
very short. That one was a good ride. It's a
Yeah.
very fast one.
Is that the only roller coaster type ride in in both parks? I think so.
We went on the roller coaster one that was just like temple themed. Do you remember that one?
Oh,
We rode that one
yes.
twice.
Raging Spirit. Yeah, that's like a roller coaster. They have one in Disney Sea that's like a roller coaster, and then oh no, I guess they're both in Disney Sea. The Journey one is like a one ride that I really enjoyed. It's fun. Was the gondola ride in Disney Sea. It's
The
like
gondola, it's a fun ride, but
yeah.
I just think it's funny because we were the only, there was a Japanese lady there and it was just us because it was
Yeah.
raining. And the guy kept asking if I spoke Japanese and I do, but I kept like not understanding that he was talking to me. And so he was like, "Do you speak Japanese? Do you speak Japanese? Do you speak?" And then in English, he was like, "Do you speak English?" And I still wasn't responding because I didn't realize he was like, "There's like three people on the boat," and I
Yeah.
didn't realize he was talking to me. And then he continued to talk to us for the rest of the ride.
That's a good thing to know. Most people who work at the park do speak Japanese. However, some of them are like, "Oh, I don't speak very good" or whatever. So just be aware of that. Have your bring your sister who knows Japanese along with you and tell her she needs to be listening, or just have your Google Translate ready and they're more than happy to work with you to get stuff
Yeah.
um information to you. But yeah. So those are our thoughts.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
good. It's good.
it's good.
We we did not get to do the parade. Oh, okay. I've been to Disney several times. A couple way less than Tam and Hannah, but I've never ever left early. We always leave right when it closes. We left early every single day. We left early
Listen.
all of the days.
Listen, because it just, if there was more things to do, then we could have stayed longer. But
I'm not mad about it, but I just like it blows my mind that we
here's the
left
thing. No, no,
early.
here's the actual thing though. In regular Disneyland, if you get in a line before the park closes, you're good, you're golden. You can stay in that line and ride the ride and done.
Yeah.
Japan, they do not do that. They will close off lines before they hit the end of the night so that they can leave when the park closes. Good on them. But like towards the end of the night, it's like we can't get in any of the lines that we actually care about. So like, what do we want to do? So
I will say about the food. Tokyo Disney Sea, I was disappointed with almost all the food we had. However, there is this one shop right next to where you open. There's shops right here, and then it kind of opens up in this area. There's one
Oh,
shop that sells these. I think it was like chicken mayo something or other.
it's like an
It looks like
egg.
Mickey, some
Yeah.
egg something whatever. It was like $1.50, and I bought four of them, and they were delicious, and they were huge, and tastiest thing I had that day.
Yep.
Delicious.
Yep.
Also,
So,
drink options, poor. They had vending machines and stuff, but I don't know. We Me and Hannah shared a little 8-ounce water bottle that we refilled every 3 minutes.
yeah, because it fit in your bag, so why not?
Yep,
Yep. We should not have, I threw that away. We should not have
you
thrown that
did.
away because we needed it when the blazing hot humidity hit us the rest of the trip.
I
But
I will say I will take the rain over the heat any day.
yeah. Hmm.
Even if it means I have to grandma walk with Hannah at my side.
Yeah. We will get into that though in the rest of our Japan episode, so stay tuned. What's goodbye in Japanese?
Um, what people in English say,
Um,
sayonara, sayonara, or
they say sayonara.
sayonara. That's what Japanese is. When we say it in English, it sounds like that.
Oh, okay. Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Okay, bye.
Bye.